This is Matrix Lord 212, and aren't you guys tired of the backpedaling? Aren't you tired of the nonsense concerning the Peter Davison fiasco with the article that becomes 3, 4, 5 different articles on every site there is? I'm sick of it. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm not going to talk about it anymore after this, unless of course he is really signed. What started as one article has evolved into nonsense. The fact that Peter Davison had spoken out at that convention, that comic book convention, and that they kept it a secret for like 9 days. Really, literally, it was 9 days that they kept it a secret, and then they decided to reveal what the events were of that conference, and all his words, everything that he spoke, they're transferring it to paper in an article, and then the next day, it's become 3 different articles. The first one saying Peter Davison doubts he's going to be in the 50th anniversary. Then another article saying Peter Davison's going to crash the party with his own friends, his own doctors. Then another article says he's in talks, and then Peter Davison confirms he's in talks with 50th anniversary. It's the same article. I'm tired of it. Is this what you do when there's no news? Like, you turn one article into 3 or 5? God, man. Tell us something different. Really. If there's no Doctor Who news for 50th anniversary, then say, hey, by the way, this is Digital Spy or something else, and there's no Doctor Who news. Go out there and say it. I mean, stop using the same article. Like, all these guys are taking the article, putting their own words in, and making it like it's a brand new article. And then they'll use a different sentence from the hour-long conference, and they'll make their own article out of it throughout the whole week, maybe 2 weeks. It's nonsense. It's called nonsense. And the fact that actors are afraid to speak on it because of gag orders and John Barrowman backpedaling, that's the term, backpedaling, which we also learned today concerns Star Wars, because Carrie Fisher said she was flat out going to return as Princess Leia. And then the next day there was the backpedaling story where she said she was joking. And now, to add fuel to the Star Wars Episode 7 fire, George Lucas just confused the living crap out of everyone, saying that Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford are signed for Episode 7. And then he looks, and then he's like backpedaling, saying, well, they're in the final negotiations. And then he says, well, they're in it, they're going to be in it, of course, but they didn't sign anything, and it's almost a done deal, but they could say no. And it's like, come on, why waste time? The Carrie Fisher thing also evolved into 3 different articles, with the exception being that one time she says, yes, she was going to be in it, then she said it was a joke, and then George Lucas speaking out to confuse the crap out of people. So it's like, stop, let's write original articles for once, huh? Let's just put something out there that's newsworthy instead of like having us go all crazy. Like, I'm done, man. I'm done with, this whole Peter Davison story. And, next thing you know, tomorrow they're going to have Peter Davison talk about the other things he said in that interview about his son-in-law and, being the doctor and his inside thing and all, and his Moffat's in his pocket and all this crap, him sharing the same name. And I mean, come on, aren't you tired as Doctor Who fans? Like, just, I'm at a point where I'm out and about and things beep in. It's like, all right, whatever. I mean, I didn't even make a big deal out of the Carrie Fisher thing returning as Princess Leia, because I felt that it was going to be nonsense, because it was all going to come out. I waited for, it was like, I think, 5 articles to say it, and then I did it as a side note in one of my videos and said, oh yeah, by the way, Carrie Fisher said this. But it's just a matter of, just when you think things are confirmed, it's not confirmed. It's not confirmed. Just like what I'm trying to say, the whole thing about Matt Smith. They turned the Matt Smith article into like 25 different articles, that he's staying, he's not staying, he's leaving after the 50th anniversary, he's leaving Christmas. Nobody has no clue, but the bottom line is that his contract is up December 31st. So for everyone to say that Matt Smith's staying, he hasn't signed. So they'll turn articles into that. And this is what you need to do, really. You want to get the news from me, you want to get the news from Dr. Freedom and all my other friends. that's great. But we're going to tell you the truth because, it seems to me that all these sites, when they're running out of news, they're doing the same thing like Weeping Angels that time, where one site will say, "Oh, the Statue of Liberty is Weeping Angel," and then another site will say, "Oh, it may be," and then later on it's like, "Oh yeah, it is." It's like, they take articles and there's nothing to talk about, so they turn one article into so many, and then sometimes they put nonsense out there. Okay, sometimes it's utterly nonsense, like. That time, the Internet Movie Database said that John Sim was going to be with Matt Smith's doctor, in series 5 or 6 or whatever. It was utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. So even John Sim said it was nonsense. So we're going to have to look at these articles very closely, very carefully, before we start, and I'm not going to, no more jump into it and say, "Oh, the heck with it." I'm, so done with it. Like, how long are you going to talk about the 50th anniversary, really? You know what I'm saying? It's like, we still don't know. And it's like, whatever. I'm getting the thing like, whatever, dude. Okay, Martha's not in it. Yeah, right. Captain Jack, mad at that. He's mad. They're mad at him. Okay. Peter Davison. Oh, it's like crazy. Don't you think it's crazy after a while? I mean, come on. So, other than that, it's just snow a little bit here and there in Staten Island, and I'm gonna go do my thing and not feeling too hot again. I think the headaches are returning with this sinuses and stuff, so I'm going to probably try to take it easy today. And that's it. So if Doctor Who news comes in, okay, but how much more news do you think is going to come in being that the series starts in like a couple of weeks? And then the 50th anniversary, they're not going to say anything. They're not going to say anything big until after Series 7, which is May. So, alright guys, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye for now.